What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Space Jam 2.
Yeah, man, it's that feel-good, family bonding kind of movie. You know what I'm saying?
Family bonding. I mean, if we're going to talk about that, why not review Fast and the Furious?
No!
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I'm Ranuma,
And I'm Iz.
And I'm Leo.
and welcome to the R&I podcast. What's up, guys?
What's up? That
Y'all
was
notice
different.
anything different?
Yeah,
Y'all
anything
notice
different?
Different?
Like three heads here now,
You know what I'm
like
saying?
officially.
Yup.
But only 10 eyes.
I want to welcome Leo. I mean,
I
I
still
know
got
you
my
guys already
2020
see
vision.
him. Y'all already see him in all of our other episodes. Like he's so frequent, he could probably like fill in for me. You know what I'm saying?
Or me.
So, so welcome everybody, Leo, to the podcast. You'll be seeing him every week that we have a new show. So please give it up in the comments or by liking the video. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Space Jam 2. What did y'all think of it? Let's go.
Space Jam 2.
What did you guys think of it? I mean, I thought it was definitely a movie made for children. I think that was one of the biggest things that people didn't realize. Like any adult my age, in their 30s, if you were expecting to see a Space Jam movie intended for your demographic, no, that wasn't happening. And I think comparing it to the first one is kind of mental because, well, I mean, I love MJ and I love LeBron, but I mean, they aren't the best actors. You know what I mean? However, they're the best basketball players. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you were to compare the movies, that's probably the first, I guess, area you would, compare them at was, how was the basketball in the movie? How was the interactions between them as basketball players and the Looney Tunes as basketball players? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that is the best way to kind of approach this movie than just all of a sudden just seeing like, oh yeah, no, the acting was bad, the animation was terrible, this and that. I'm just like, no, you can't. I mean, like, dude, I thought it was super dope in the first Space Jam where they had that glowing ball with, having all the basketball players. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was dope.
Yeah.
And the talent like transformed their bodies.
Right.
See, and then so Space Jam 2, they did it differently. And you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely made for children. So that's what I think that going into this review should focus at. It's not for adults. It is a children movie or a movie for children.
Yeah, and then I like the fact that they made it into the animation of what Looney Tunes would be. I don't think Space Jam 1, I don't think they made MJ looking like a cartoon like they did with LeBron.
Oh yeah, in the
Space Jam
beginning?
2.
Yeah, you're right.
So I was like, yes, and I think that was one of the things that was missing, that key element that was missing from the first one. And then another one that I also like to add was the how they were all of a sudden like these three-dimensional characters. I'm like, dang, Bugs is like super furry.
It looks scary.
Like great
It looks scary
furry.
a little bit.
Yeah, they're looking like the animatronics all of a sudden, It's like, what
Like
the
Five
heck?
Nights at Freddy kind of.
Yeah.
Oh.
See Tweety Bird running around, flying around.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
thought it was pretty good. I will be one of those mental people. I was a fan of the first one. I agree though. Their acting. I mean, they're basketball players. They're not actors. So,
Right.
Who knows how much time they had to even really practice their parts
Yeah.
compared to like normal actors or whatever. So, but I don't know. I just maybe it's more just biased nostalgia kind of feel to it, and that's why
for sure.
to me, Space Jam 1. I just liked it. I thought they did a good job with the movie, with directing it to a more modern group of people, right? It's no longer
Right.
cartoon. It was like a 3D animated feel to it, and the universe was it wasn't. It was just like it was. What did he call it? What did the cyber universe or cyberverse or whatever it was
The
called?
Cyberverse.
The
Oh,
yeah.
Cyberverse.
I'm pretty sure that was what it's called.
Yeah, right. So it's like it was bringing all these modern ideas into it, right? Because in the '90s, computers, I mean, you dial up, it's like technology wasn't like so awesome like it is today. Even if it was 20 years ago. So
It was called the Serververse.
Serververse, yeah,
Serververse,
that's
yeah.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I liked it. Did I like it more than the first one? They're probably both just as cheesy.
Yeah.
Probably the first one a lot more cheesy because it was a '90s movie.
Yep.
But
It's got
but
that
it was
family vibe, you know.
right. I don't. And you like you said. It was aimed for the younger generation.
Mhm.
I agree and disagree at the same time because I think they were definitely aiming it at people our age as well because we were fans of the first Space Jam. So like, oh, we're gonna come with Space Jam 2. You know, everybody in our age group were like, dang, a Space Jam 2, this is gonna be sick. But I think with the jokes and everything, a lot of it was more aimed for children than it was like for any age.
And that's a good point. That is actually a good point because the thing is, the reason why I thought it was for us was bringing back the Looney Tunes.
Yeah, for sure.
The Looney Tunes is our era,
right?
And,
it is,
and I think that was the whole vibe for bringing us back,
right? Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember, they took out Pepe Le Pew from
right.
Space Jam.
Yep.
And that was man, his character would have been awesome. But you know, today is cancel culture. You know, got a hold of it.
Got him.
Poor Skunk, he didn't do nothing.
I know
he wasn't the problem.
You know, just like how they're probably not gonna release a Johnny Bravo film anymore.
Oh my god,
Johnny Bravo! talk about crossing boundaries.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my, yeah.
You know, Cartoon Network is in the background going, Johnny Bravo, we don't even know what that is. What you talking about?
They're like, no,
we never
saw your tweet back in '96. I think there's a lot of okay. So for this movie, it was actually really cool, and it actually touched a lot on mental issues, like mental health. So like in the beginning, LeBron wanted to play his video game during basketball. And his coach is like, no, you got to focus. You got to focus on what you really want. And you really want this, right? So, yeah. So he ends up throwing it away. So that, and if we use today's culture, or so to speak, their idealisms or their ideals or whatever, that was a way of like just kind of like being not so supportive and just kind of like drilling, you have to do it, which today is kind of looked down upon. So like, you know, it's a mental health thing. Another thing was, same thing with LeBron's child in there, little Dom. He was an actual tech genius, but his dad wanted him to do basketball,
right?
Because it was something that he needed to do, right? So he thought his son should do the same thing. But like throughout the movie, you could see that the son was struggling because he wanted to make his dad proud. You know what I mean? But he also wanted to achieve his own dreams outside of his father's name, which is actually brilliant. Which is funny because little Bronny is actually following in his dad's footsteps for sure. You know what I mean? Even the younger son, I forgot his name. And then I think and one more was Bugs Bunny was lonely.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning, he wasn't even like he was by himself on that Acme World or the Toonie World.
Yeah, that's true.
He was by himself. And so, like, his idea was to use LeBron as an anchor to grab all of his friends again. So,
that's interesting. Yeah, and it's really interesting that it comes out around this day and age where we're all quarantined and the kids are all quarantined and they don't get a lot of social interaction with their friends, classmates, or teachers, or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, before we even recorded, I was just telling you how I was just talking to the kids about their first day of school. And it's like Bugs Bunny going back to school again, you know. He's seeing his friends again. He's doing an interaction. It's almost like, in a way, they did bring a little bit of COVID in there because of the quarantine. Like how you said, how Bugs just came out of little land that he was in, the Acme world or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting that you actually you brought that up. You know, I was just thinking about more about that. But what did you think about LeBron's acting compared to the previous one, Michael Jordan or MJ, or your airness, I should say? So we got King James and your airness. Who we got?
Sir Ernest. What do you think, Leo?
I think I probably would give it to LeBron. I think he did a better job in acting. But that being said, I'm pretty sure LeBron has had more acting opportunities. Like he's shown in other things
Right.
more than Michael Jordan. Now, then again, I was a kid, so it wasn't like I was watching everything Michael Jordan ever did, in the 90s. So he could have, but I know LeBron has been on a few things, even though if it was maybe like he's been on commercials for like, what was it, a phone,
Super Bowl.
Samsung, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. So, he's had some teaching in acting. So I would say LeBron probably definitely took the cake in the acting category for sure.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
And wasn't he in that one movie with it was like this comedy movie that wasn't really that great, Trainwreck.
Is that the movie? Trainwreck?
Trainwreck,
What-
yeah.
Oh, well, that tells you everything, I guess.
I've never seen that movie. No,
No, I don't think I've seen it either.
I've never even heard of that with him in it. No,
No, it was
Um,
funny, but it didn't really stick to me as much as all the other comedy movies that I've seen. So, but yeah, he played as himself, but then he also got some lines, which means that he had to actually,
Right.
memorize it. So
Yeah.
that was still technically an acting stint for him.
So for me, Michael Jordan was the better actor because LeBron wasn't convincing to me. So in
Okay.
his, because the thing is LeBron's true character is he's very supportive of whatever anyone around him wants to do.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, at least that's what I get from him. I mean, this fool
Right.
opened up a freaking school. You know? You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, do what you got to do. Get your education, get out there, make money,
Yeah.
support your family, stuff like that. Like, so that's why I just thought it was weird. Like, it was almost as if he had to convince himself and his character that he's gonna not support his son. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So every time he's just like, no, son, you have to do this, you have to do that. I was just like, that doesn't sound like something he would say unless he meant it 100% and it didn't feel convincing.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan, however, I mean, his stuff, I don't know why, but he just felt like he was more of a pro, not an actor, but like a pro athlete
Mhm.
in the movie. He acted more of a pro athlete, whereas LeBron was actually a character.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan obviously had a different, he had his Hollywood family and all that, but they weren't even a part of the show. Where in this one, the son was a part of the show or movie, and that actually played a big role on who LeBron's character was.
Mhm.
And I thought it was just interesting that that they did that. I was just like, it should be more about LeBron, but it's actually about LeBron's son. You know what I mean? And LeBron just so
Right.
happens to be in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That's part for sure. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Is it really LeBron's son?
No, his son is that's not his son.
It's not right. I was
No.
like,
No.
I was like, I
His
don't think
son's
that
older.
is.
I think
Yeah.
his son's older too. He's like 16 or something.
Yeah. Because I remember watching the movie and I was like, wait, are these really his kids? So I looked it up. I was like, no, these
Yeah,
are
I
my
was
kids.
like, wait, I did do a double check on that. But piggybacking on what you're saying too is like how Michael Jordan. So Jordan likes to take charge. He's not like LeBron, where he's LeBron's really supportive, like you said, team player. Like Jordan has that mentality of like, you just go hard or just go home, and that's all Jordan. And I think that's why he had a really strong character in Space Jam 1. But as far as acting goes, I think LeBron gets it. Only because he was a little bit more expressive. And I agree with you. There's some parts where he was just not convincing.
Mhm.
Like the very beginning, he goes, hey son, and like, puts his arms around him. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's really weird because I was sitting there critiquing the whole thing. I'm like, okay, right now, enjoy the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's a basketball player. We get it. Enjoy the movie though.
Yeah.
But I think LeBron did a pretty good job though.
There were two parts that actually made him not so convincing for me in Space Jam 2. The first one was when he was talking to his kids in the courtyard where I guess his Dom's older brother was like, no, this is how you're supposed to shoot, this and that, whatever. And he just wasn't getting it, and LeBron was all mad and whatever. And that didn't sound convincing that he was all that mad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the second part was when they were or LeBron had that meeting with the algae people. About the tech. He's like, what do you mean? I don't do that stuff. That stuff's da-da-da-da. That's not basketball. That's not me. And I'm like,
right.
I was like, that doesn't sound convincing. I was just like, I feel like you would totally be a part of this. LeBron? I totally think so.
Yeah.
It was an alternate universe LeBron where he's all about basketball and nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think I got to give it to LeBron on this one.
For sure. Did what was you guys' favorite characters?
Ooh, Leo, go first.
I mean,
You don't have one? Or
I-
was it, I have one.
I have one.
Oh,
I got one
you do?
too.
Oh yeah, no, my favorite character it's Bugs. Bugs Bunny has always
Yeah.
been my favorite character. I mean, you just can't beat him. And and then Porky, I've always enjoyed Porky too, just because I relate with Porky. He's a lot more shy than it's like, yeah, that's me right there. But he took, I liked him. I think they did it in the. Did he rap in the second one, right?
Yeah.
During
yeah,
it was a battle, right? A rap
was a
battle.
battle, yeah,
That was so sick. I was like, yeah, Porky, bring it up. We all know you could do it.
I was just like, oh snap! I was like, okay. And then did he get points? He got style points, right? When
Yeah,
he shot-
exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which
But-
yeah. No, the style points was mental. Sorry, my bad for interrupting.
I mean, but Bucks, I just have a soft spot for Bucks. He's always been just the character that you just kind of can't do anything but love.
Right, absolutely. For me, my favorite character was Algae Rhythm, the main villain,
Oh, man.
because I mean, he obviously in the serververse killing it. I was just like, bro, like, and actually that was one of my issues with the movie was the fact that all of a sudden nobody wants to use his tech. Are you kidding me? Everyone wants to use his tech right now. I was just like, his tech made so much sense to me. I was just like, where's it wrong? I guess the fact that LeBron, the overshadow, or what is the foreshadowing was when LeBron's like, no, I don't want to play games. Like that was his, okay, he's going to say no to the tech.
Right.
But I mean, had he not done that, he still would have been dope at basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm all like, come on, man. And then I was just like, but if you use the AI tech, can you, oh my gosh. I was just like, Algae Rhythm is dope because he could do all these other things. He also did like a bunch of, he was able to like import people via phone. I mean, like, yo, what?
Talk about
Technology is wicked
the
over
ultimate
here.
VR.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would be AR in that case.
Oh yeah, and then be like, just watching a Twitter, just like, okay, boom, and you're just in the game. Also like mixing in a bunch of like different whatever's streaming online is also at the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I also enjoyed. Remember how we were talking about earlier about the talent in the basketball, and when the monsters touched it, they got it. I did like how they mashed up NBA and WNBA players in the game with like animals. Was it animals and elementals?
Yeah.
And elementals.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I was like, okay, they upped their game. They leveled up, I guess. So
what is that one basketball player with the big eyebrow?
Anthony
He was
Davis.
Yeah, he was like an elemental, right? Like a water type. And I was just like, yo, okay.
No, he was.
No, he was a hawk, wasn't he, or the
Yeah,
bird?
he was a
Was he the
hawk.
bird?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Oh,
he was the
who was
bird.
who was
it was
the water
Clay
one?
Clay Thompson because he was one of the
Clay,
he was
okay.
one of the Splash Brothers with Steph Curry.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
So
okay.
that's why we made him a water.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then
there was a
I forgot.
snake one though, but that was
a girl.
the
Sue? Was that
yeah,
Sue?
I think so.
Sue Bird? Sue Bird? Was that her name? I forget. But yeah, I was just like, oh snap, we got a female WNBA players up in there. I was just like, oh, interesting, because you had grandma up in there. It was like
Right.
Whereas the Looney Tunes did have Lola Bunny, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it makes sense. I was like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And then they added like I thought it was messed up. They added was there an octopus in there? No, right? Or no, it was a spider.
Yeah, spider.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, okay, is that cheating? And then I was like, is that cheating? She got like all this like, I guess handwork. And then I realized, oh, now there's style points and they can go up to like what, hundreds of points at a time. Like
Right.
Yeah. Which is pretty crazy right now because the games today or in the past couple years, they've been going up to like over 120 points in some games. So saying those numbers is like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure they could do like 1,000 if they wanted to.
And I'm pretty sure you saying that. I'm pretty sure that was kind of the point of them doing it in the movie. Just to just show like the ridiculous amount of points that are just that these players
Right.
are just dropping
Yeah.
during their
Oh, yeah.
games.
for sure.
So
Sure. And yeah.
yeah, I like. So I like Bugs Bunny, but he's not my favorite. Damian Lillard, who plays who's Kronos.
Oh,
Dude,
the time thing?
when he came out, time just froze. It was Dame time. It was done.
Yeah. The Roadrunner was like in place or just
Yeah,
moving a little bit slower.
I was like,
I'm all
oh
like,
no, he just nullified the Roadrunner.
I guess I had an issue with that too, though, because I'm like,
With
What?
Kronos?
I was like, yeah, well, no, his power.
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
like, he's already a superstar athlete. You're gonna add some like time powers to him, like,
Yeah.
no. But hey,
But they
Looney
only played.
Tunes-
He only played like what, once or twice in the whole game.
Yeah, I think. Oh, did they ever explain why?
Because it wasn't time for him.
There we go.
I see what
Mystery
you did.
solved.
Oh,
But
yeah,
dang.
no.
He was his backup. He was just a supporting. He was a second string, probably.
He's his own string.
He's his own string. Question. So we're talking about Looney Tunes. We got NBA. Obviously, we touched about a little bit on the NBA part. What about the amount of looniness? Got the air quotes going on. Looniness from Space Jam 1 and 2. Which one had more, you think?
One
One.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
definitely had more.
Well, because
I get that too. I got
because
that.
it was mostly about them and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right.
In this one, it was more about LeBron and his son, and then
Right.
Algie. Algie was a huge part of it. And
He was just salty because,
yeah.
no, but LeBron didn't want to get his program or whatever.
Right.
So,
And with Porky's freestyle, like that was a side of looniness that was never
Yeah.
revealed before.
Right.
And it was not loony, it was dope.
Yeah,
he
it was
dropped
pretty
that
good.
mic.
Like his stutter wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And like if he ended with the stutter, like beat, that's all, folks. Boom. Like, you know what I mean?
And he goes,
that would have been sick. Yeah. And that was actually one of my favorite parts of Porky's character is
Yeah.
when he stutter like saying like basketball, like the game that we play on the court. Like he'll say something completely irrelevant.
He'll just give up on it later.
Yeah,
and just, like
yeah.
describe it.
That's oh man. But I mean, I was very surprised and happily about the fact that Porky did do his bit. But that's probably the most upgraded part of Looney Tunes I've seen, and I can appreciate that. So.
Yeah, I definitely the first one was a lot more loony than the second one, and I do agree. I feel like the first one was more like Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes were co-stars, right? And this one was, and the second one was more LeBron and his son, and then everybody else were like supporting characters. You know, so they were there to just fill in the empty space. For the most part, I wouldn't say like it was all about LeBron and his son, but it was more about them, the people, than it was the cartoon characters in that sense.
For sure.
Oh, speaking of taking a space and cartoon characters, can we talk about the amount of characters that were in the movie?
Oh, that was
Good. Oh, let's get it.
Lot,
right?
A lot.
That was really good. That was really good.
Whole bunch of DC. Bunch of DC.
Oh, yeah.
Batman.
Oh, yeah. That whole bit. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
when they're going
right?
through all the
Superman,
different
Batman,
worlds.
Wonder. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When they're in a spaceship. And
King
they're going
Kong.
through the Harry Potter world,
Yeah,
DC world.
Iron Giant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Iron Giant. Hogarth.
So many. The Mask was there.
The Mask. Yeah.
The Mask was there.
Oh,
Did anybody?
Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you guys realize the White Walkers behind the
Yes,
I did.
yes.
Yeah. I did.
And they
Did you
were
guys?
reacting like, oh.
I'm like, oh yeah.
What are you
Did
gonna
you
say?
guys? Did you guys see the Animaniacs in there?
Yes. You guys
You
see
saw the anime?
Pennyworth
They-
or Pennywise?
Yeah,
I didn't
you
see
saw
Pennywise.
Yeah, saw
And,
Pennywise.
Mr.
I thought that
Freeze
was really
there.
dope. Yep, I saw Freeze.
Whole bunch of Batman
thought-
characters. I think that's what.
I mean, Warner Brothers been
Yeah.
in charge of DC, for
DC.
how long now?
they had to bring them out. Mad Max.
Yeah.
Little bit
That's
of,
where who was in Mad Max? Who was the Looney Tune that was there? Was
it
that?
was
Oh,
Wile
it was
Coyote.
Whitey
Coyote, yeah.
Coyote.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
thought
I liked that.
That was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie was when they were going to get all of the other Looney Tunes and they were going to
Yeah.
all these other worlds to just collect them and
Yeah.
just meshing of the Warner Brother universe, right?
Yeah.
The serververse.
No, but
the
so-
universe.
I think they did a
I
good
thought that was
job
really
on
good.
that.
I did. I agree 100%.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Like they just
Yeah.
inserted them into the movies. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that one scene in Mad Max, and I'm like, oh, dang, they did a good job with him and Wile E. Coyote being in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, of course, perfect person. And it was Witness Me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude. And it was the same
small little.
characters, right? Wasn't it the same? Or
Yeah, I think they just like laid them on top of like
yeah.
the movie.
Oh,
Witness
jeez.
Me. Witness
That was for the adults for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
for sure.
That was so fire.
And then more Batman. I think you saw Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and when they were talking to LeBron in the conference room. So his poster was behind
Oh yeah.
what's her
Mhm.
name? I forget her name. The
The
actress.
woman that was the actress.
yeah, I forgot her name.
Ooh, I
But
forgot
the poster was like right behind her, and I'm like,
Okay.
they are promoting DC to the fullest in this movie, like throughout the whole movie. And I was pretty happy about it, and I think that's what made me like this movie more.
Mm.
You know,
I think
Joker was
I-
in there, Batman.
no. How was the Michael Jordan?
Say what?
Michael Jordan. They're like, guys, I was able to get Michael Jordan.
Oh,
And then
Oh yes,
LeBron James.
He's
James
like,
oh, you got Mike?
I-
What?
"You Mike? Oh dang!"
Comes in as Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he comes in like, "What's up, guys?" He's like eating his popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm like, "How did?
Rock Jordan.
Wow,
Rock Jordan.
wow."
And then everybody's like, "Wow, he looks different."
Oh, that was a good. That
was
was
funny.
so good. That was funny.
They're like, "You guys gonna get Michael A. Jordan? You got to get Michael B. Jordan."
I thought it was pretty cool that well, I mean, even Michael Jordan did too, but that LeBron was okay with making fun of himself. You know, like the whole intro where they're just talking about him switching switching teams 1,000 billion times, and just like all these little things.
Yeah.
And he just, you know, the jokes were in there about his life, you know, and you're like,
Yeah,
you could tell he has personality because he's like he's not getting upset over it, you know. And Michael Jordan was the same, right? Baseball career or whatever, and people just making fun of that whole situation. And he was like, you know what? I mean, it was it was a bad time.
Oh man,
It was a different time.
It was a different time.
it was a different time.
I remember way before Space Jam New Legacy came out. Right, Space Jam 2 as we've been calling it.
Yes,
I remember there was a meme and I started busting up, right? Because it's the part where LeBron is right. Okay, we got to get a team together, and he starts like writing down all these names of everybody he's gonna have. He's got Superman and King Kong and all this, and then underneath it's like, so I think the meme was something like, "Who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?" Right? And then so it shows that picture, and then it shows who did Michael Jordan had? Bill Murray.
Yeah.
It's like, so who's the better player? I'm like, dang, you doing LeBron dirty.
I know.
He's like, he only needed Bill Murray to do his thing.
Man.
That
was another thing I was looking forward to. I thought some of the characters or some of the actors that was in Space Jam 1 was going to have some kind of cameo in the second one.
I was hoping for something like that too.
Yeah.
I
The
agree.
big guy, Pudlack? What is it? The big guy? Remember the big guy?
Oh.
He was in there too.
The guy from
Space Jam 1?
Jurassic Park 2.
Was
Yeah,
that him?
You guys say the Magic Man?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dude, right?
Yeah, he was a heavyset guy. When he came in, he's like, "I'm here. I can help you. I can help you." Get flattened by
Was it-
the monster.
Yeah.
Wasn't he Michael's agent or something like
Yeah,
that?
he was Michael's agent. Yeah. And I
Oh,
thought it was funny.
The Monstars were there. Their little mini form.
Yeah, they were.
Oh yeah, they were there. Yeah.
At least they made that cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
They
For
were
like
in
2
the show.
seconds, you know.
And then they were like upset that it's like, oh, this is all happening again.
I forgot.
Dang.
Wait, but where was the big guy? The big cat? They were all like, what is that? They were all shipped away at the same time. So I was expecting to see him too, but he wasn't in there.
They're
Their
you mean their boss?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, forget him. The other guys were at least they were just being bullied into being bad people.
Yeah, that's
They weren't truly bad people.
That's true. They were actually
they were a little bit bad.
they were a attraction. They were an attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Joker picture that you brought up was behind Sarah Silverman.
Oh,
She
yes.
was the one, and Stephen Ewan of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was going to say Alicia Silverspoon. That's way off.
Was
That's
it?
way off.
Way off, a little bit.
Way
little bit.
off. My bad.
Would have been great to see her though.
That's funny.
Something with the silver in her name. I didn't want to say it.
What did Speedy Gonzalez was in there, and
Yeah, it was.
there was something that LeBron said, and apparently like he had to like pause a little bit, and I forgot what it was. Do you guys remember? He said something to Speedy Gonzalez, like I think it was something towards him being a mouse, or
I can't remember. While we look that up, I do think it's kind of funny that you mentioned this earlier. What's his name? What's the skunk's name again?
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew gets canceled, but Speedy Gonzalez doesn't. I'm like, that's just as racist, people. I don't care. I enjoy Speedy Gonzalez's character. I enjoy all characters because I have a lighthearted like comedy personality to myself.
Yeah,
It's like, this stuff is funny. But I'm like, I don't understand where your cancellation comes from.
Right. It's just like, yeah, none of that toxic masculinity from Pepe Le
Right.
Pew, but the racism of Speedy Gonzalez is cool.
It's
cool, my man.
He's a drunk mouse who looks like he's been wearing the same clothes for 35,000 years, and
Right.
he just runs around really fast everywhere because he's trying to get away from the cops, you know,
Yeah.
from immigration. But whatever.
You know, dude. Yeah, and I forgot what LeBron says. I think it was LeBron that said it, but there was like a pause. He's like, "Oh, I didn't mean that," kind of thing. That was funny.
Let's
man.
find out.
It was Gabriel Iglesias that voiced his character too.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
nice. I like his.
He did a good job.
Show. Yeah, he did. I didn't even notice it wasn't the original guy. Like, I'm looking at a lot of the voice actors for the Looney Tunes, and some of them are actually newer characters. Like Zendaya played Lola.
Zendaya, yeah.
I was like, Lola, what happened to the original Lola? But I don't know, maybe she wasn't available.
They didn't like LeBron probably. They were more of a Jordan fan.
I got a couple of questions for the movie that I had with the movie. Like, why wasn't he able to get into the live game? Was it homage to the fact that LeBron's manager couldn't get into it? Remember, Michael Jordan's manager couldn't get into it. Remember in the first movie, he was like digging out of the golf.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Trying to get
Michael, where are you, Michael?
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm just like,
Oh no, but that wasn't the manager in the first one. It was Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
The one that dug that up.
Yeah. Bill Murray. If I remember, wasn't it?
No, it was
The manager.
Pedalock.
What's his face?
Something Pedalock or something like that.
I thought Bill
Yeah.
Murray was able to go. He was the one that
He
was
got
able to
in.
get in.
He got in eventually,
And then
but he didn't go in right
he
right
got
from
in
the
eventually,
beginning.
but
Yeah.
the other guy did not get in it at all. The LeBron's character,
Oh,
LeBron's
yeah.
manager wasn't able to get in at all.
Like at all. Like
Yeah.
at all. Over here lying to his wife. What? Well, I'm gonna go find him like right now. And then she rolls up. You better tell me where my husband.
That was funny.
And
That
so,
was pretty funny.
and then another question was, Algae's tech, like I brought up earlier, Algae's tech not being utilized. Are you kidding me? LeBron would have 100% jumped on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no millionaire that wouldn't jump on that type of tech. You know what I mean? I was like, that's an absolute. Oh my gosh, yeah. But anyway, it would
Yeah,
have been sick if they did utilize it, or at least maybe had a how would I say, like a connection between LeBron and Algae at the end. That would have been a really cool ending. To where like Algae lost, but he, it can be brought up to be a better person, or I guess in that regard. But yeah, I mean, what like, you guys have any issues with the movie that kind of left you like, wait, what about this? What about that? Those were mine.
Remember in the very very beginning, I was starting critiquing it, and I turned my mind off. So I was just enjoying the movies. But and then what clouded my mind from thinking those kind of things was, again, the amount of characters that were there. But I see what you're saying, where I think LeBron would have been all over that tech for sure.
yeah, I agree. I guess that some part of me is like, not all bad guys turn good, I guess. It's the truth.
Well, that's what's going on mostly today. Like all the bad guys, are just
Right.
for sure bad.
Yeah.
Algae's
No,
not even a real person. I believe.
But I agree with you guys. I mean, I think he would have been up for that. But once again, this is and especially after he sees how much his son, because the whole match was based on his son's game, right? So
Yeah.
seeing that whole awesome game, like all the stuff that came with the special abilities and the skill points and all that, you know. So you would think that he would have been a little bit more open minded. Go, you know what? Let's see if we can get this work better or something. I don't know, something. But yeah, they just kind of just left it with well, he's a bad guy. Oh well, ciao.
Live with it. You gotta live with it.
Live with it. All right, just live with it. Another thing I wanted to bring up, how earlier you said the mental health. So like with growing up, you know, we were heavily influenced by our parents' actions and how, like, the way of teaching. You know, back then they were like, you got to do this, you got to be that. You know, it wasn't really like we didn't have a choice. We didn't have that kind of option like the kids today. You know, and like how his son was like, oh, you know, he was building this program, this game, and then when LeBron came in, he was trying to hide it and stuff because he didn't know how his dad would act. And I think that's going on. Like, I think that's been going on, but I think it's more of today because there's a lot of new kind of jobs opening up, new careers, new names of stuff that I didn't even know. Like the content creation or video
entrepreneurship is real here.
Yeah,
nowadays. Yeah,
yeah, and I think that's what they're trying to get at. The difference between how kids were raised back then compared to now. And I think that's pretty cool how they did that in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, how we were raised back then.
Yeah, basically.
How we're raising our kids now.
Yeah.
Which I mean, not hi mom, hey dad. But my parents, I was blessed with my parents always being very supportive, and from the beginning, from as far as I can remember, my parents always been those kind of people like, do what you want, you know, do the stuff you love to do, because what's life if you're in a miserable job or whatever the case is. So I've always been blessed with that perspective. But definitely I've had friends and other family members who their parents would just, you know, put their dreams or their desires onto their kids because either they didn't achieve them themselves or they're scared that their kids won't become something, whatever the case may be, right? And it causes a lot of stress for kids, right?
Yeah.
And I thought this movie did a good job of like doing that, like just going, hey, you know, your kids have their own thoughts, their own ambitions, their own dreams, and it's not right for us as grown-ups, as their parents, to keep them from them.
Yeah.
And we should instead be supporting them and helping them in achieving those dreams, because nowadays is a lot easier now than it was 20 years ago.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Definitely.
like you were saying, I mean, with you could do a bunch of stuff. You can stream. I mean, you could get paid to play games. What?
Yeah.
Like, remember when we were kids and your parents were like, that's not a thing.
Yeah. You know, when I was young, like me and my brother would be playing like half the day, 12 hours. We could be making bank over the weekend, summer break. Holy
Right?
crap.
Well, I don't think it'd be. Well, actually, there was already someone doing that back in the 90s, early 90s. He was playing video games, and you could watch him play video games, but it was on a TV show.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on a TV show. You got to look it up.
So that just shows you the amount of accessibility we have now, that you can go to Twitch or YouTube or any other of these platforms, right, and just watch whoever you want at any point in time, right? Because somebody's streaming it all the time. That's kind of crazy. So the opportunities are just become more and more limitless as time goes by, and it's our duties as grown-ups not to be careless with our children and let them do whatever the heck they want, but to definitely be supportive of their futures, of what they want to do. Because just because you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, you know, maybe they just want to be a plumber. Okay, let them be a plumber.
Right.
Not to put down plumbers, because you guys are very necessary in our lives.
Right.
That's just Leo
true
trying to take
heroes.
a crack at them, you know.
The true heroes. All right. Well, let's. I'll wrap this up with my grades, and then you guys can give your grade of the movie.
All right.
As an adult, I give this movie a C.
Like how he said as an adult.
As an adult. All right. However, if I were a kid, it'd be an A+, 100%.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
If I was a child and I saw all of these other shows, which I saw with or watched with my family, and
The
I saw those little
technology.
monsters, the tech, all that, that was dope. Okay,
Mhm.
and even Little Dom's video game that he made, that was actually legit on top of on his computer. I was like, now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're not talking about Dominic Toretto, Little Dom either. So,
As what about Dominic Toretto? You should say about Dominic Toretto. We're gonna talk about Fast and Furious now.
My bad,
No.
my bad. So Robin was in there too.
But yeah, so I give it a C, as myself now. But if I was a child, it'd be an A+. There you go.
Oh man, okay. I give it a B. It was going to be a C if I didn't see all of those, load of characters in there. I love collaboration, and WB does an awesome job with. They did that with Ready Player One or something like that. Player One. And they did the same thing with Space Jam too. So I like collaboration, and I like seeing other characters mesh with other characters. And this was one of those movies. What kept me from giving it an A was the I don't know. I kind of didn't like the plot there, but then again, I saw where they were coming at with the whole. It's all about LeBron's son, him saving his son, and it was just a lot different from Michael Jordan's Space Jam, from him saving himself and the entire universe, basically. Whereas LeBron is saving himself and his son, and direct, also the Looney Tunes,
Right.
But B is the grade I give it. But LeBron's a better actor than Jordan. You heard it here first. If not second, third.
I give it a B. It was entertaining. I do agree that the plot was, or the storyline was basic. I want to say basic. It was just, it was really trying to just tell, about you and your kids and whatnot, and family bonds, and just having that relationship. So it wasn't like anything crazy. Not that the first one was anything crazy either, but yeah, I give it a B. I thought it was entertaining. I do like Ranuma said, it's just all about just the meshing of all the other universes, putting it in there. That really is if I had to pick a favorite part, that would be my favorite part. Just the all these other characters from all the other universes that Warner Brother owns, just falling in there. That's just, I enjoy that. I love when you have those like crossovers and whatever. Yeah, it's just so good. So yeah, I would give it a B.
Okay,
That's a good one.
Sweetness. All right, Leo. Tension is on you for a little bit here. So what can we expect from Mr. Leo here moving forward before we close this out?
Negativity, so much negativity. No, I'm just kidding. I hate everything. No, I just want to say thank you guys. You guys are awesome. And I enjoy being here with you.
Awesome.
I enjoy being here with you guys. I love talking about these things with you guys, and I hope that we just continue to do these things. And I hope that your families, your families that you've made on YouTube, your friends, your fans, whatever you want to call them, right? That they accept me, right? Just like I accepted them open arms. Here, my arms are open. You just can't see it in the camera.
So yes, you guys heard it from Leo first.
That's right.
Well, we're welcoming him in as a
With
regular
open arms.
with us,
With us.
like the Creed song, like the Creed song, with arms wide open. That's how we're gonna do that. All right.
All right.
Like it.
And I'm gonna wrap this up right now. All right, guys. So that wraps up this episode. Huge thank you to White Wong Media. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Like, comment down below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the links are down below. Thanks again for watching us. See you again next time.